Here is a list of 44 phrasal verbs beginning with A, with meanings and examples. Abandon to allow oneself to enjoy something fully. During the weekend, I abandon myself to sleep and relaxation. Abide by, accept or follow a decision or rule. They have to abide by what the manager says. Abstain from, to not do or have something you enjoy, usually for reasons of religion or health. Muslims abstain from food and drink in Ramadan from dusk to dawn. Account for, to explain. Can you account for your actions the other day? Ache for, to want something or someone very much. He was so lonely, he ached for the sound of a human voice. Act on or act upon, to take action because you have been given information or advice. They were acting upon the instructions of their leaders. Act out, to demonstrate with gestures and movements. The children acted out the play in school. Act up, to cause pain or annoyance by behaving or functioning badly. During the science class, Robert kept acting up. The car is acting up again. Add up, to calculate the total of several numbers. I'm very good at adding up in my head. Add up can also have another meaning, which means make sense or seem reasonable. The story he mentioned just doesn't add up. Adhere to behave according to specific rules or follow a set of beliefs. For 6 months, he adhered to a strict no fat diet. Admit of, to allow something or make it possible. The present schedule does not admit of modifications. It cannot be changed. The latest events admit of several interpretations. Advise against, to recommend not doing something. I'd advise you against saying anything to the press. Police advised the public against the traveling in the fog. Agree with, to believe that a decision, action, or suggestion is correct or right. He doesn't agree with giving money to beggars. Aim at, to say or do something that is intended for a particular person or group of people. The criticism wasn't aimed at you. Allow for, to include or consider something in your plan. Before leaving your home, allow for the possibility that it might rain. You need to allow for inflation when planning your project costs. Allude to mention someone or something in an indirect way. The speech alluded to some issues that are now forgotten. Amount to be the same as or equal to something else. Their actions amount to a breach of the agreement. Angle 4. To try to get something indirectly. He was angling for taking the car, but I didn't allow him to. Answer back. To reply in a rude way to someone that you are supposed to obey. Stop answering your mother back. Answer 4. To accept responsibility or blame for something. You have to answer for any problems that happen during your visit. Answer 2. To be responsible or controlled by someone above you. Who do you answer to in your job? Appeal 2. To try to persuade someone to do something by reminding them that it is a good or fair thing to do. Activists appeal to the government to stop the war. Apply for. To make a formal request, usually written, for something or permission to do something. She applied for the job with the school. Apply to. To have the same thing or relate to the same people. The same rules apply to everyone. Argue down. To beat someone in a debate. The professor tried to argue his students down, but he couldn't. Argue out. To discuss a problem to find solutions. We have to argue our difference of opinions out. Arrive at. To reach an agreement, a decision, or a conclusion. The two studies arrive at different conclusions. Ask about. To ask for information about someone, especially about his or her profession or health. Tell your father, I was asking about him. Ask after somebody. To inquire about news about someone. Sam called me and asked after you. Ask around. To ask several people for information or advice. I will ask around to see if anyone has seen your book. Ask for. To say that you want to speak to somebody or be directed to a place. When you call the office, ask for Mary. Ask in. To invite someone to come inside. Once Jamie arrives, ask him in. Don't leave him standing in the cold. Ask out. To invite someone to come with you to a place such as a restaurant, especially as a way of starting a romantic relationship. Mark asked Tina out the second time they met. Aspire to desire and work towards achieving something important. She has always aspired to be an astronaut. Associate with. To be connected with or related to something or someone. Smoking is usually associated with many diseases and health problems, such as cancer. Atone for. To do something to show that you are sorry for having done something wrong. Just when he reached old age, he remembered all those sins that he had to atone for. Attend to somebody. To help or look after someone. The doctor was busy attending to other patients. Attend to something. To deal with business or personal matters. I will only arrive after the meeting as I have some issues to attend to. Attest to. To show or prove that something is true. Studies attest to the health problems of not drinking enough water. Attribute to. To say or believe that a situation or event is caused by something. The fall in the number of deaths from heart disease is generally attributed to improvements in diet. Auction off. To sell something at an auction. The contents of the house were auctioned off to pay for the family's debts. Average out. To calculate the average of something. Our marketing costs for last year averaged out at £12,000. Awake to begin to realize the possible effects of a situation. The government finally awoke to the grim reality of the economy. That's it. These are the 44 phrasal verbs beginning with letter A. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.